good leader to everybody. Of course, they're not going to be looking for those things because of the socialization aspect. So, unfortunately, this narrative of women being put on pedestals and selecting men with resources is something that is still encouraged and practiced and reinforced in our society today. This sexual economics theory, which again, form of social exchange theory in social psychology. This is a concern. This is not something that I think is good. And it seems to be something that many women are using in many different industries. Now, I was socialized, and yes, there are other reasons for why I am this strong-willed, but I was also socialized to analyze these particular types of issues and analyze my role as a female in society. And so I can speak out against this. And the problem with all this, with the whole emphasis on sexual exchange theory that seems to be encouraged between men and women, there are many issues with it. And I'll get to them in another video. But I think, from my perspective, the biggest and most significant issue is the way that we are teaching women to value men. And how we're teaching women to value themselves in relation to men. So, every girl that you have known, whether it's your daughter, niece, cousin, friend of yours, doesn't matter. When she was a girl, she probably was told these stories about being a princess in a castle. She was going to get rescued by a Prince Charming that was going to sweep her off her feet and just take her away and all this. Now, these stories normally churned out by Disney, whatever, Disney princesses, and they emphasize this idea that a man can change by a woman that he thinks is special. This is part of this sexual economics theory, right? This idea that women have this prized sexuality that is gifted to a man that can win her over, that will tear through everyone and anyone to get to this special princess in the castle, to get to her, to get to the prize, right? And it's an extremely archaic way of thinking. It's really archaic, and it's not something that I think we should be reinforcing at all anymore. But it's reinforced in these Disney movies, in many different movies that are marketed to little girls. And as women get older and they're socialized in a diverse social space with boys and with just, people in general, adults, they learn gradually that that's just a fantasy. That's just kind of a monopolization off of how we evolved in the ancestral environment or something. Many times it's not even that specific. Overall, females that are normally socialized learn you're not special, it's not an insult, but the way that he treats everyone. And this is a point that I'm going to make repeatedly throughout all these videos. The way that he treats everyone is the way that he's going to treat you. And let me just say that again. Reward, social modeling. These are the ways that throughout our childhood we learn social skills. There are genetic predispositions, which I'll get into in another video. But overall, even taking those genetic predispositions into account, if you're rewarded for amicable, socially, if you're rewarded for respect of others, loyalty to others, honoring the boundaries of others, and you're simultaneously socially modeled those behaviors, which is a huge thing. Social modeling is huge. absolutely huge. You're modeled those behaviors of respect, of loyalty, of um, I just